Hey there, Vanagon addicts. It's Ken Wilford here at Vanagon. Hope you guys are having a great new year. And we apologize about last week. We didn't have our live stream. And I had several people text message me, what happened? What's going on? All right, so you see this person right here. This is my daughter, Leah. She is my older daughter. My younger daughter, Rachel, was trying to get her driver's license, and last week she had her thing scheduled on Friday at around 3 o'clock. I thought I could get there and get back in time, but it didn't work out that way. So the good news is she did get her driver's license. She is now on the road officially, and so that is great news for her and for us, so she doesn't have to keep retaking the test over and over, and she was super happy about it. But we didn't get a chance to have our live stream last week. So sorry about that. Apologize. Hope you guys had a great new year. Got a chance to think about your goals in life, what you want to do with 2018. And for us here at Vanagon, we're trying to bring you more exciting, fun Vanagon stuff and things to enjoy in the next year. So that's our goal. And I hope you guys are going to be along with the ride. I want to thank everybody for 2017. A lot of you folks here have been instrumental in helping us actually surpass, our sales goals and different things from the year before. And so we really, really appreciate that coming into 2018. Some exciting stuff that we got going on. Brand new website. It's going to be live hopefully by the end of January, early February-ish. Okay, somewhere in that zone. We have got some brand new headlights, square headlights coming in this month at some point. And it's going to be like sets of them. We've talked about them a few times, so that'll be awesome. We also just got an email from one of our suppliers. They're making brand new Vanagon carpet sets for the front of the van. And they are actually molded ones. So, it's very exciting because in the past you could get some carpet sets from like TMI. You could get carpet sets from SoFine. Those guys are nice. They're great guys to deal with. SoFine I've dealt with. But it's different between putting in a regular carpet, like that's just cut in the right shapes, and a molded set. Okay, the molded set is like what the factory set was really like. People don't realize carpet sets, when, like one of my friends in Dalton, Georgia, that was what he actually did. He built these big wooden structures, okay, that were molded as the floor of a car. And then he would actually take a carpet and put it over that structure, and they would do stuff to the carpet to mold it into the shape of the floor of a, whatever car it was, a Chevy or something like that. So they did automotive carpets in their company, and that was OE. Okay, so your Vanagon, if you take your Vanagon carpeting out, you'll see it's molded in different shapes when you take it out. Okay, that's not from just age. That's how it was actually built in the first place. It's molded that way. So these new carpet sets that we have available are not cheap, but they are molded. And they also have right under the driver's pedals where you would normally have that plastic thing embossed into the floor. They actually have that in there as well. And it looks just like the original. And so, this is for people who are restoring their van. They want to try to take it back to original look. This is for you. So that's another exciting product. I'm going to be putting it up onto the website here soon, and you guys can be taking a look into that. If you're interested in it, it's not going to be cheap, but it's, one of those things. It's like cheap or like not having it versus having it. Okay. And when they were new and you could buy them from Volkswagen, which I guess you could at some point, they were never cheap. Okay, it's an expensive process to mold carpet. You have to build the molds and do a lot of work. So, so that's available now. That's pretty awesome. All right, so before we get too crazy, we're just a couple minutes into the stream. I want to go ahead. Okay, here is our prize we were supposed to give away last week. I apologize for that. It is a 2018 VW bus calendar, officially licensed from Volkswagen and all that good stuff. Got a little hologram thing down the corner. And we are giving that away to one of our 2 Patreons. Okay, so we have Eric Schneider as a Patreon. He already got a mug. He said, I don't want another mug, so we're not giving him anything right this time. We have Chris Snyder as another Patreon member, and also Peter Beachy. Okay, so those 2 guys, Chris and Peter, who is going to win this? What do you think? Who's going to win? Okay, we're going to have to do a quick something. I don't have any coins on me, or I would flip a coin. All right, so we're going to write the 2 names down here because I want to get this out of the way in case they're just listening to see who won. Okay.
Right now, Costas, Steve DeRuiter, and Chuck are in the chat, and they all say hi.
Hi, guys. Good to have you guys with us today. You know, last week, people got upset about, you know, where is the chat? Where is the streams and all this stuff? I mean, this week, we've had a serious snowstorm here and serious cold snaps going on. So, like Peter Benici the other night, he was like bragging about, oh, it's my vacation. I'm on vacation. I might not be able to be there this week because I'm on vacation in Australia and it's super nice and warm here and all this other good stuff. You know, I'm happy for you, dude. Here in the United States, all the way to Florida, it is super freezing cold.
Yep.
In Florida, the lizard deals are dropping out of the trees onto the ground. Okay. Why? Because it's so cold and they can't deal with it. They're not used to it. So they said, don't just let them be because they might revive in a little bit.
Yeah, Peter actually came into the chat. And
all right, said, Peter's in the chat.
Give it to Chris.
He says, give it to Chris. But it's right here. All right. All right, we'll give it to Chris. I mean, just to be honest with you, I was kind of hoping Chris would win because shipping this calendar to Australia would probably cost way more than the calendar itself. Maybe what I'll do, since Peter's being so nice, I'll give him some credit in the store or something to just kind of make up for that. But I appreciate that, Peter. All right, so Chris is going to get the bus calendar. I know some of you guys got some of the hand cleaner too that we gave out. You know, it's so weird. I asked people to comment on the thing and they would get the free hand cleaner. And the only person I got to do it was Billy Shepard. He was like, hey, what's going on? It's me, Billy Shepard. I need hand cleaner and stuff. So, I mean, that's all he needed to do. Other people couldn't be bothered, I guess. Or maybe they saw he already commented and figured he got it. It was funny, too. I shipped the hand cleaner out and never thought anything of this. One of the guys that got it, Mike, it got so cold the hand cleaner froze solid and busted the bottom out of the hand cleaner thing. And he had to take it and put it into another container before it thawed. But he says it's nice, so
Yikes.
I got some more hand cleaner here. You guys,
maybe we'll have to insulate
any excited about it? I mean, I probably would wait to ship it out. We're gonna on Saturday. It's supposed to be like -2 here, below Fahrenheit 0. Okay, so that's pretty cold.
How much is that in Celsius?
I don't know. For Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit to 0 Celsius, so. But it doesn't scale properly. You could ask your phone; it would tell you, right?
I mean, I'm only asking for all the non-Fahrenheit users.
Mike says he's checking in with clean hands, so appreciate that. Also, there's a lady out there, Linda, who, for some weird reason, desperately wants to say hi to everyone. So I'd say hi to Linda. She tried to call me a bunch of times last time during our live stream. She just doesn't know how to make the chat work. I'm not sure why. It's pretty easy, right?
I mean, if you're on your phone, it's like right underneath the video.
If you're on your phone, okay, and you're watching this on the YouTube app,
it'll show
when
up.
you're watching it, at the very bottom,
There's
a thing that says
live
chat.
chat.
Just click on that.
Good, but...
It will bring it up.
And then you drag it up, and there it is.
Boom, there it is.
And you can type right at the very bottom bar.
Okay, hopefully that'll explain that a little bit to Linda. If you're on YouTube on your computer and you're watching on there, it's usually over to the right side if you have the screen, like the small version.
Yeah, if you have it full screen, then you can't type anything. But if you have it like regular size, it'll be on the right, and you can just type away.
And another thing you guys should, a lot of you guys listen to this later. Okay, so our last thing was our Christmas special. Like a lot of people listened to that probably because it said Christmas special. So they thought Leah was going to do some dancing or maybe dress up like a Christmas tree, sing a Christmas song or something. But and maybe next year we'll do all that. No! But we'll have a living Christmas tree. I mean, we had this church one time I was at. It was huge, like 5,000 people at Christmas. They did a living Christmas tree where it was a giant Christmas tree. I would say it was at least 2 stories tall inside the auditorium. That's how big the auditorium was. And the crazy part was, like, where the Christmas ball things were, that was people's heads. So your head would kind of stick out of this, and your little noggin was a Christmas ball. I mean, it sounded like a cool idea at the time, and it was kind of like a fad thing back then. But it was kind of weird. But it's just basically people that are singing Christmas songs, and it would draw people to the church to see this weird, ginormous Christmas tree with disembodied human heads. It kind of sounds like a cannibal's Christmas tree or something, like, except the heads are still alive. I don't know. And they're singing beautiful music. So there you go, everybody. All right, so anyway, so I have more hand cleaner. If anybody's excited about the hand cleaner, let me know, man. I'm feeling generous. I gave away some last week. One of the guys that we actually drew his name last week, I don't think he ever told me how to send it to him. So whoops on that. Sorry, but like if I don't know how to send you stuff, then this stuff don't get sent. So maybe he just didn't want it. I don't know. I got like 12 gallons of hand cleaner. All right, so I don't know how long the stream's going to be today. It depends on if you guys have questions. So if you have questions, definitely ask questions. Now I will ramble about battery situations. So in a couple weeks, my wife and I are going to head to Florida for a week. And we are going down there for a couple of things. One thing is I am looking into what is called a fulfillment center. I don't know if you guys know anything about fulfillment centers. If you do know about fulfillment centers and you say, I know about one, it's awesome, I love it, definitely use it, let me know about that in the comments, okay? But there's a fulfillment center down in Florida. Now, fulfillment center sounds great, right? It sounds like you go there, your life gets fulfillment. Actually, that's maybe a little, might help that, but I don't really think so. It's more about orders, okay? When you're like me and like this human over here, everything orders, okay? So when we get in orders, we can get them done fast. We get them out the door, but it takes time and effort, which, adds up. And if I could be using my time to research new products, to talk to you guys on the phone, talk to you guys on email, do more videos, then I would much rather do that. Those things are more productive for me versus sitting here, tapes, put a label on things, buy to it, and stuff like that. So that's what the fulfillment center does. And it gets orders from my website, goes to them. They actually warehouse the stuff for me. They keep track of the inventory. It syncs with the website too. So there's a lot of advantages to doing it. The disadvantages, I have to pay them to do it. So I want to go down there, check it out, see if it makes sense. And it would be a big help to us. So we're looking into that. The other thing we're going to go down there to take a look at is a place called Green Life. Okay, which is down in Florida as well. Green Life sells lithium batteries. Okay, and I have been researching along with Mike we've been researching lithium batteries for the Westie for a while. This week, since I've been stuck inside with snow situations most of the week, did a lot of research on them. And basically, it's kind of like this idea that I really want to have a battery I can sell to people. They can put it into their van. They can use their van more, get more use out of it. When they're not using it, it's actually staying good. You know, it's more like when you want to use your van, it's ready to go. You can use it. You can enjoy it. When you're not using it, it's not really causing you any problems. So, you know, if any of you guys look on YouTube, my most watched videos, for whatever reason, are videos about batteries. Okay, so installing a Go Westie secondary battery system 3 or 4 years ago, I mean, that one's got a lot of views. And a lot of people are interested in the secondary battery. The regular batteries, your lead acid, those batteries are deceptive in a way. Because you put them in, they call themselves deep cycle. You put them in, and you think, right, oh, deep cycle, I can cycle this all the way down to 0, use it all the way up, and it's fine. No. Okay, so, you know, these kind of batteries are rated in what they call amp hours. That basically means it can run 1 amp for so many hours. Okay, so our setup that we have on our video that we did was 66 amp hours of 3 deep cycle batteries you put together. The total was 66. I think each one is 22. And, you know, you think, okay, I got 66 amp hours I can use to run my electric refrigerator or whatever. But the reality is, no, you have 33. Yeah, you have 33 amp hours, because any kind of lead acid battery, or even an AGM, which is like basically a fancy lead acid battery, those batteries, you're only supposed to discharge them to 50%. Okay, if you discharge them beyond 50%, you will actually harm those batteries. Okay, you harm them, and as you harm them, take them all the way to 0. You charge them back up again. They will never have as much charge the next time. Like, it'll actually be significantly less. It could be 30% less of a charge the next time. Then if you drop it all the way down again, it's going to harm it again, and it could be even less. Maybe now it's only 50% of its rating, and so there's a disadvantage that way. Okay, the advantage of a lead acid is they're everywhere. You can buy them anywhere. They're cheap. They're relatively cheap. But the downside is the fact that the rating is kind of deceptive. They're actually only going to be used at half. And then the other downside is, say you want to recharge it. Okay, so you go to recharge. You have one of these fancy. We have the Pro charger that we installed, the one that Go Westie recommends. They've used for years. It's a nice charger. But to bring a lead acid battery back up to 100% takes days. Yes. Now, I'm not saying, I didn't say minutes. I didn't say hours. Days. Okay. So if you deplete it down to 50%, guess when it gets back to 100% and it's fully ready to go again? 2 days later. Okay. The charger has to do different things, bring it to a certain point, do this, do that. It's all smart, so it does it all automatically. But 2 days. Okay. So, I mean, you're on a trip for a week and you run your battery down. And maybe you got 2 days left of your trip. Guess what? Your battery is getting hurt the whole rest of the time because it's not back to where it should be. And it takes a couple of days to get back there. So let's move on to lithium batteries. Okay, now you guys have heard of these batteries, right? I mean, that's what's in this right here. Okay, that's what's in your cell phone. That's what's in your tablets. That's what's in all the new electric power cars like the Tesla. Okay, and Chevy Bolt, not Volt, because that would just make way too much sense. Thanks, Chevy. Okay, but these lithium batteries, okay, they have lots of advantages. They have the advantage that they're lighter. Okay, that saves you a little bit of weight and less of a pain to like pick up and move physically. Number 2, there's no water inside. Okay, these lead acid batteries have acid inside, and when they're being charged, they actually produce hydrogen. That's slightly explodey. Okay, if you've ever seen that Hindenburg thing. The humanity, you know. Yeah, now you want that in your van? Humanities. Okay. You have it in there already, though, your starting battery, so it's not really that big of a deal. I've never heard of anybody having a fire caused by their battery being charged. Usually because the battery box has a vent or it's not really like that much deal. But anyway, so there's no acid in the lithiums, okay? The ones that I'm interested in is called a life battery. Okay, so you've heard a few years ago lithium batteries could get explodey or catch on fire if they're charged too rapidly or whatever. That has been pretty much mitigated to a zero possibility by these batteries called life batteries. This lithium ion, and they have a iron phosphate deal thing. It sounds like some kind of delicious drink from the 50s malted shop. A lithium iron phosphate. I want one of those. Okay, so those will not burn anymore. Okay, plus the batteries have a built-in thing called a BMS, battery management system. If you hook it up backwards, it will not work. It will shut itself off automatically. If a lot of them, if you have too much of a draw, it'll shut itself off. So it has all these, it has safety features like built into it. It has a brain in the battery. Okay, nice. That's an advantage. All right, so let's make 10. I have a battery that I'm ready to sell right now. Okay, 50 amp hours. Okay, guess how much of that you can use in your van? Probably 95%. Okay, so if it says 50 amp hours, you could probably use that battery to 46, 47 amp hours. Okay, you could take it all the way down to zero. Now, as you're doing that, taking it down to zero, a regular battery, a 12 regular lead acid battery, as you're doing it, it'll start out at like maybe 13.5 volts, 12.5 volts, whatever. Then as you're using it, it goes down. The voltage goes down and down and down as you're using it until it gets to, you know, whatever, 10 volts. Okay. So if you have lights on, if you have different things running, it'll get like weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker till it goes to the point where it can't support the light or whatever, the light shuts off. Okay. On a lithium battery, if it starts out at 12.5 volts, it stays at 12.5 volts the entire time. It goes all the way down to 90-something%, and then it shuts off, okay, to protect itself. So you'll get the full voltage the entire time. That's nice. That's a big advantage, okay? That's a big advantage. Plus, you get more of the actual battery use, like what it's rated for. Now, let's say you want to recharge your 50 amp battery. Guess how long it's going to take? Probably 1 to 2 hours. Okay, so you're on a trip, you go to visit your friend, or you go to an RV park, you plug in your van, and guess what? 1 to 2 hours later, bam, it's back. Okay, you have a solar panel, you go like hiking or whatever for like part of the day, maybe 6 hours or so, come back, bam, it's charged, and it's fully back again. Okay, so do you see the advantages of this over this lead acid? I mean, the lead acid thing is cheap. Really, that's the big advantage of it, the cheapness level, because there is basically one disadvantage to the lithium one. You're like, wow, this is great. I'm loving it. I want to buy 20 of them. They're the best ever. Okay, the only real downside to them is that they're very expensive. Okay, they're very expensive. So just to give you an idea, if you go on Green Life's website, okay, let's go on there right now. I will do the screen share section.
While you're doing that, Michael Hanya has successfully gotten into the chat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He says hello.
Okay.
Here, Benici says it hasn't snowed where he lives in 32 years.
32 years.
He says looking at 105 degrees Fahrenheit today.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I must feel sorry for you with that one.
Kudos to you for being able to live in that kind of weather.
That's really hot. That's very difficult
and
hot.
Extremely hot.
All right, so you can kind of see I'm on their Green Life site right now. These other batteries, they're too big to fit in a Vanagon. I mean, you know, whatever. They're very humongous and large. The one we're looking for, let's see here. It's here somewhere. Give me a second.
Texas boys. Say
Texas
hi.
boys, hey guys. Maybe power
and
storage.
Chris Snyder says, "Hey Ken, Happy New Year."
Hey Chris, you won a calendar. Hope you noticed that. You probably, if you just got here, you may not have noticed that, but you did win a calendar. All right, so here is the one right now that we are interested in. This is off the shelf. Okay, this will fit in your battery box in your van, 50 amp hour. Okay, but you can see the price here. It is $650. That's their retail on that. I'm going to put this on my website in the next week, and it's going to be cheaper than this because I'm getting a discount on it. Okay. So, you know, if you're interested in purchasing this particular one, I would definitely recommend it. All right. Now, another advantage. Okay. Another advantage. So this is what it looks like. It's all shiny. We're going to go visit their place. Maybe I'll do a video when we go there just so you guys can kind of see what it's like. Let's think about it. But so this is expensive. Okay, you could buy 6, maybe 5 of the, you know, sets of the batteries, the lead acid, like the 66 amp hour lead acids. But you could probably buy 5 of them for the price of this. Okay, but again, you're only going to be actually getting 33 amp hours. Okay, and then the lifespan. Okay, we haven't talked about the lifespan yet. Let me go back to here again. Bam. All right, the lifespan of this stuff. So a normal lead acid battery, the lifespan of it is somewhere around, are you ready? 400 cycles. Okay, so that's usually 2 to 3 years. Okay. If it's in a Vanagon, though, you would have to keep it constantly maintained. In other words, if you're not using your van, if it's parked somewhere, you need to keep it plugged in. You need to have a charger on that battery all the time. If you don't do that, and you go to jump in the van, you go to use it, that battery is going to most likely either be dead or seriously depleted. Okay, a lead acid battery can lose as much as 30% of its charge sitting for 1 month. Okay, 1 month. So you guys put your vans away for the wintertime. You don't have a charger charging stuff. You go to try to start it in the spring. A lot of times the battery is just dead. And you're like, wow, why is that? Because just sitting there, it'll lose its charge. Okay. A lithium battery can sit for 1 year. It will lose 3% of its charge in 1 year, just sitting and not being charged. Really? Yes, 3%. So in other words, you fully charge it, you go away, you come back a year later, it's basically still fully charged.
I wish phones could do that.
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter like that it's sitting, it doesn't bother it, doesn't do anything to it whatsoever. Okay, so that's another big plus. Then, okay, the cycles. So the lead acid battery cycles. Okay, so you buy the set of lead acid batteries, boom, $130. It lasts a couple years. Like I said, you get some good use out of it. Maybe you don't because you're not really using your van that much. Okay, so you might get 2 trips out of it. Okay, now you have to replace it again. You have to go all that hassle, take it out, take it, dispose of it, new stuff, boom, put it in, hook it all up. Okay, 400 cycles. Okay, for the lithium batteries. Now I talked to Green Life about this. How many cycles are we getting? Okay. They said conservatively 2,000 cycles. So that's 5 times as much. Okay. A lithium battery is expected lifespan. A normal battery, expected lifespan 2 to 3 years. Okay. If you get more than that, that's just bonus. A lithium battery, expected lifespan 5 years. Some of them, if they're charged properly, can have up to 5,000 cycles. They said they have tested some of these batteries, and they have gotten 5,000 cycles. So, you know, the price point at that point, it's not that it's going to be cheaper. Okay, don't get excited about that. Oh, I buy this lithium battery, and then it's going to be cheaper. Okay, but the big difference, I would say, the price is going to be comparable. By the time you factor in, okay, I bought like 3 sets of these over 5 years, okay? It's approaching it in its price of the lead acid batteries. But you have way less hassle. You don't have to take it in and out. You don't have to worry about it being dead if you just leave it sit there. You don't have to worry about, that it's not fully charged, so it's getting damaged, it's getting hurt. And even the lithium ones, if you don't charge them up to 100%, or if you do charge them up to 100%, they really don't care. The battery doesn't care. It doesn't need to go back to 100%. The lead acid batteries, they need to go back. They have to go back to 100% to be able to have their full potential. The lithiums don't. You can take it to like 75%, then start using it again. You just have 75%, but it's not actually hurting it. Okay, so this is why I'm excited about this. I know I'm rambling about this lithium battery thing, but this is a big deal. Okay, this is like a game changer. If you're on the road a lot, it would give you a lot more use out of your van. Okay, you could have an inverter on it to use for things. You could have your 12-volt refrigerator thing. You could integrate a solar charging system into it, which is something that we've been talking about for a while too. There's all kinds of cool things you could do to make you be able to go out there, camp by yourself, do some dry camping or whatever. Have that flexibility, okay? Versus, like I said, the lead acid battery, I mean, that technology is over 100 years old now, and it's basically ready for the scrap heap, okay, of history. The only thing we're waiting on is the price of these new batteries to go down. They are lowering over time. So that's what I'm talking about right now. So we have this 50 amp hour one available. You could buy it today, okay? But that's not where we want to stop, okay? So Mike and I have been working on 120 amp hour battery. Okay, it's going to fill that box under the seat on the Vanagon camper, and it's going to have a BMS and all this other stuff, and the price is going to be decent. Okay, it's going to be decent. They see on Green Life site they had a 100 amp hour battery, $1,200. Okay, this is going to be a 120 amp hour battery, and it's going to be probably comparable. But 120 amp hour one, I mean, that would really be for people who are doing like full timing it, or they were going on that super dream trip to Central America or something like that. That would be for them. And I mean, most people, they would probably be perfectly happy with the 50 amp one. Okay. Plus the difference in price, So $1,200 is a lot to spend on a battery. Believe me, I understand that. It might be less than that. I don't want to commit to it. Okay. So again, Green Life they're talking about developing one for us. Mike has been working a lot trying to figure out one for us that we can do. There's a guy out there right now who is custom making one that he's just making he's building them out of like little cells and all this other stuff. We don't want to do that. We want to kind of mass produce it. Maybe the price can be cheaper. That's what we're hoping for. And we'll pass it on to you guys. But it's kind of like a dream of mine to make the van more useful. You get more use out of it. You get more enjoyment out of it. I mean, that's like the whole point, right? And whenever you're ready to jump in it and go, it's ready to go. It's not, you don't have to like be all super prepped and whatnots. Okay? I'm trying not to say words I can't pronounce. All right, so that's my rambles on the lithium batteries. I hope maybe you guys learned a little bit from that.
Chris Snyder says, cool, thanks about the calendar.
Hello.
Peter Benici says, I'm at work welding on my kids' race boats.
Sweet.
Cool. Brian Armstrong says, hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, you guys.
Steve DeRuiter says, solar maintenance system. I'm using Victron MPPT maintainer and a smart combiner to get all my batteries.
Okay.
Mike Kanye says, yay.
Okay.
Exclamation.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're still researching the solar thing. They have, combiners and MPPT things. There's also a special relay that you're supposed to use when you're charging lithium batteries from an alternator. So we're going to try to basically put together some kits with the battery and some of these parts that you need so that you got everything you need. Plus, I got to research about how to charge it properly. Maybe I might have to increase the size of the wiring to the alternator and stuff like that. but we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's still early days. If you guys want me to, yeah, and Mike is saying the one we're trying to make can be rebuilt as well. So in other words, say 5 years goes down the road and your battery cells are weak or something, you can send it back to us. We can put new cells in it and send it back, and it's actually cheaper than buying a whole brand new battery. It can be rebuilt. Maybe only one cell's bad. Maybe only one cell's weak. We can test it and rebuild it. It has like these little cells, individual. You can open it up, swap them out. They're like little rectangular things, and then put it back together. Bam, send it back. And so, that's also another advantage to our own like custom-made battery that we would be doing.
Peter Benici says, Ken, I have a 24 by 2 volt lead acid, and they have only lasted 4 years with 600 watt solar on my trailer, which wasn't used all the time.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem you run into. A lot of RVs, they'll use 6 volt like golf cart batteries. And the nice part about them is that they don't get hurt as bad when you discharge them. There's a really nice video on YouTube that I watched this week where a guy, an RV guy, got a Green Life 100 amp battery. He also had a 12 volt regular like deep cycle battery and 6 volt deep cycle batteries, which are like a golf cart. And he basically did the exact same test on all three and compared and contrasted it. The golf cart batteries worked the best, but have you ever seen a golf cart battery? It's like, it fills up this like super humongous, right? And you need 2 of them because you're trying to get 12 volts. And where would you put that in a van? I know in an RV, you got way more space. I mean, my RV, I have 32 foot. It has a basement. And I could slap all my kids under there, plus all my luggage, all my other stuff, and drive. And they'd be down there, had their little Nintendo things they're playing. I mean, it'd be great for them, probably. There's lights in there. There's all kinds of... Why haven't I been putting them in there? I don't know. But, there's tons and tons of room in a big, fat RV. In a Vanagon Westie, space, right, is at a premium. And so, I was actually going on a blog today where this couple are like filmers. They photograph things. They do filming. And they went to Central America. And they redid a Syncro Westie and did all this lithium stuff in there. But they wound up... They needed like 400 amp hours. I mean, this is what they figured up. And they made a humongous battery box that they put between the 2 front seats as a console. So they had this huge metal console they built, and they put these batteries in there. I mean, that's all fine and dandy for them. But, for most of us, we don't need that much power. Especially if you went to like LED lights inside your van and that kind of stuff. You're looking at like 50 amp hours would do most people taking a weekend trip easily. 120 amp hours, you could go extended journeys with that, especially if you added the solar on, like Peter was talking about, like me and Mike have been talking about for a while. I mean, you can get a 120 watt panel pretty cheap, or if you wanted to put a couple on there, there's space for a few depending on what your needs are. All right, so do we have any like actual van questions today? I had some cool calls this week from customers. I had a customer, they called me up just to say hi. They said, my van is doing great. Thanks for all your help keeping it running great. I haven't talked to you in a while because I cut off my finger with a circular saw. So that was terrible. And he's just now getting back to where he can drive his van. He says, all my stuff is manual transmissions. I think it was his right hand. He cut off part of his pinky, half his pinky, and this ring finger right here. And he said it just took a second. But they put this finger back on, and he's getting use back in his hand again. His name is Andy. So our thoughts and prayers are for Andy right now. Hopefully he'll be able to get back. But he did get to drive his van. And it was funny because he was driving it when it was like super freezing, ridiculously freezing cold. And he's like, it was so warm in there, I had to turn the heat down. And he lives up in Massachusetts, I think. Then I had another guy that called. He is Canadian, and they were traveling all the way down to Key West, Florida. So on the way down, they were having that bucking syndrome thing. I said, why don't you try unplugging the oxygen sensor? Just believe me, just try it. So they unplugged it, drove all the way down there. Fine. Okay. Started coming back, called me. I'm going to have to come to your place. I said, now listen. It's doing the same thing, right? Yes. I'm like, you need to go to the computer. This guy's a mechanic. I'm like, go to the ECU, unplug it, take the cover off, wire number 2, cut it. That's for the oxygen sensor. Put the cover back together, plug it back in. It will fix it. Believe me, it'll fix it. This is for a 2.1. He called me. He said, guess what? That fixed it. Thank you so much. I'm on my way back to Canada. They were down in the Keys on vacation, right? Everybody's like, that is the best ever. And it's decent down there. It's fine. But he got a phone call. He has a marina up in, or he has a marine business where they repair boats and different things, I guess. His business burnt down while he was on vacation. And then his van was acting up. Man, this was like terrible. But thankfully, at least I could help him with his van, got his van fixed for him over the phone. And got him back on the road. And again, that's because, and that guy's a good customer. He's bought a lot of stuff from me in the past. They rebuilt the motor on that van and stuff with parts from us. So, when he called up, I was like picking up right away and trying to help him out. I mean, this is why we're here, to help you guys out. And we're just glad to be able to do that. So we appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys had a great New Year's. Like I said, all New Year's is to us is another day in a way. But it's also a time to kind of evaluate, what's important, what's not important. For me, important is helping you guys out, coming up with new ideas, doing research on new parts and new accessories and things that we can offer. And, hopefully, like I said, if we get this fulfillment thing going, it'll give me more time to do that, more time to do videos. Now, I got a engine that we're going to be pulling the heads off of and doing a head gasket job on. So I thought about possibly doing a speedy uppy. That's what I call it, right? What do they call it? Time lapse?
Time lapse.
Time lapse. The technical term is speedy uppy. Video of that. Because we've already did a nice in-depth video, right, of doing cylinder head gaskets on a Vanagon. This is going to be a speed up video where you guys can just sit there and watch us do it. There's people out there, they love to watch people do work. It's therapeutic, satisfying videos of somebody cutting metal or something, or slicing a rubber shoe with a heated up knife.
Oh, you mean the 1,000-degree knife challenge?
Yeah, the 1,000-degree knife videos. I don't know, that's creepy to me. I hate seeing people chopping up perfectly good stuff with a super hot knife.
Some people find it extremely
It's almost like torture.
satisfying.
It's like torture porn or something. I don't know, but it's not porn. It's just but it just seems wrong. But anyway,
attach that word at the end of that sentence.
Well, it's just wrong to me. So, but anyway, you can watch us do cylinder heads. I'm going to try to do that video this week coming up, and then you can watch it whenever you feel sad inside. Say, look, there's cylinder heads going together. Satisfaction.
Peter Benici asks, do larger wheels, what are the advantages and disadvantages of
larger
wheels?
Okay. Advantages are they look cool. Advantages are more tire selection. And disadvantages would be you got to buy new wheels, so money. Disadvantage would be anything over 16-inch. You're going to run into problems with hitting suspension. And one of the things anything over 7 inches wide, usually the bigger, they also get wider. Anything over 7 inches wide, when you open the sliding door, it's going to rub, the tire is going to rub on the inside interior panel. In Germany, they got away with this by having a bigger, like this U piece that the sliding door rides on. It extends out the sliding door more, so instead of it being like extended out kind of like perpendicular with the van, it kind of cocks it out a little bit so that it misses the super wide rim that you put on there. But yeah, anything over 16 inches, you're going to wind up running into, like you hit a bump, it's going to hit stuff. The tire's going to hit. You can actually, the downsides would be if you put a way bigger tire on there, you're going to have less power because of the leverage, okay, of, you know, your wheel diameter is going to cause you to lose a little bit of power. And it's also going to mess up your speedometer, odometer. It's not going to be accurate. But you can go to bigger wheels and go to like a slightly lower profile tire and keep the same rolling diameter of your tire with the 14-inch, that's the factory size, and still be good. Like, you don't have to worry about losing power. You don't have to worry about, you know, your odometer, speedometer thing being off. Sometimes it's actually more accurate when you have this. I think what we found was on 15-inch 205 65s. If I remember right, the wheel thing used to be a big thing with me. Lately, last 4 years or so, we haven't done much with it. But, yep, so there's a lot of research out there on tires and wheels. If you go on our website, we curate, which is called vanagon.com. There is a section on tires and wheels that we try to talk about this stuff. So you can check that out when you get a chance. Boom, tire and wheel discussion in 2 minutes. All right, let's go on. I mean, because people talk about that forever.
There wasn't really anything. Costas just wants us to make the time lapse.
Costas wants us to do a cat video. Now, I'm wondering about the cats here, Costas. I had to put the cat situation going on. I think possibly, I could be wrong, possibly some of the cats have been killed. And you're saying, what? It has been 6 degrees here, okay? If the cats are not inside, I think they are over. I haven't seen any cats for a few days.
I mean, I saw some paw prints over at your parents' house, but like, okay. I too have not seen very many cats.
So they are either hunkered down in their cat bunker, waiting for the snowmapocalypse to be over, or they are over. Okay, most likely it could be the first one. Okay, but this is not the end of the snowmapocalypse. The snowmapocalypse is fixing to go into overdrive tomorrow. We're going to have negative degrees below zero tomorrow. The high is going to be, I don't know, 12, like 11?
In the teens.
Yeah. So, I don't know what's going to happen with the cat situation. We will see. They may get some cat, what do you call it, vengeance upon them. And believe me, they need their herd to be thinned. They have a very heavy herd over here of cats.
The thinning.
We have to have a thinning of the cat herd. Okay.
Cat sickles.
So that's I said it to Costas because he sends me cat videos sometimes. And he was sending me a picture of Greece today, right? Greece. People go there for vacation. It's like Europe's version of the Keys or something. And he sent me a picture going. I sent him a picture here of snow, and he was like, I wish I was where you are now. I'm like, I will trade you. Believe me. I would much rather be in Greece in the nice warmness than be up here in the super freezing cold stuff and things. So
trust me, Costas, once you got here, you would be
you'd be ready to go back.
Begging to go back.
That's right. Send me back to Greece.
It's a negative degree.
And be clicking his heels together. There's no place like home. There's no place like a home. That's not even a good Greece accent. All right.
If you haven't seen the original Wizard of Oz, I would suggest that.
There you go.
Then you'll get that reference.
All right, guys. So I appreciate you guys being here with us today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're part of the Peep Army that listens to us, right? Some people don't even watch us. They just listen to the reassuring sounds of my voice. Okay. If you're that, just remember, support us with your parts purchases. Support us either on Patreon, and that if you can't do that, support us with PayPal. You can send us a PayPal donation sometimes, or you can just be like this really awesome dude in Hawaii who just sent me $10 in an envelope, just like 10 actual dollar bills. Like a $10 bill. And I will tell you a cool story about that. He sent me a $10 bill in an envelope. I don't really carry cash with me that often. And we went to the DMV, and they said, you know, your daughter, we need to get these stickers for her license plate so she can take her driving test. So got that, cost $4. Then we went to the thing, came back after she got her test, you know, approved. And they said, all right, you need your driver's license now, $6. So guess what? $10. Somebody sent me an envelope, paid for my daughter's driving license, her first, you know, driver's license thing. So I definitely appreciate it, and thank you, the dude that sent that in. He told me his name actually later. But thank you guys for all your support. We definitely appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. If you haven't, click that little notification bell thingamadoodler on our main page. That will tell you every time that we are streaming. You'll get a little notification that you can join us and chat. And if you have any questions or problems or whatever, you can say in the comments, and we'll usually just talk right back to you, or we can save it for the live stream if you want us to and talk about it in front of everybody. So that's about it, guys. So look for some updates in the coming weeks for our batteries thing that we're doing. And also I'm going to put this carpet set onto the site in the next week if you're interested in that. If you're restoring your van, I think that would be an awesome addition to it. And I guess that's about it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope it's warmer where you're at. I hope you're not getting conked on the head by lizards falling from the trees. If you are, at least you're in Florida. That's all I can say. I know it's cold down there, and it snowed there the other day in Florida. My former pastor was sending us pictures of them in Disney World right now, and it's like basically empty. There's barely anybody there because guess what? They all have sense. They're all like, I'm not going to Disney World. It's like it was 30-something degrees in Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And, you know, he was showing, oh, here's people going on the Animal Kingdom. There's barely anyone here. Yeah, because they're smarts. They got smart brains in their brain head. They're going to wait and spend their money when the weather's way better, which will be like next week. It'll be back to normal. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you for coming out. And as always, get more smiles per gallon with your van. All right, bye, guys. Have a good weekend.